Battlefield 6 Season 4 has been one of my favorite seasons so far, and with this season I honestly feel like DICE is heading in the right direction with the vision they have for Battlefield. But I do believe there can be a lot of improvements, a lot of things that DICE can change up in this game. That's something I want to talk about in this video. So let's get into what I like about this season, what I don't like, and what I think can be improved. One thing I do like about this season is that this season does feel like the most Battlefield-like season, which is odd to say considering this is a Battlefield game. But what I mean by that is this honestly feels like that old school Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 type of feel to the game. Like, I genuinely feel like we've gotten closer to the Battlefield 4 formula with this season. Toward the gameplay and overall the map design with Suru Reef, just it gives you that feel of we're going back to that formula, right? This map also brought back the Hanoi Resort and I believe it's the E point on this map. So you have that whole building, right, 1-to-1 that you can go in, have fun, play that if you ever play Battlefield 4. Then you also have boats coming back, naval warfare coming back this season. The introduction of the I believe this is called the F48, which is like an AUG, and I really enjoy this weapon. Like, I do believe this weapon may be one of my favorite assault rifles in the game so far. As you guys are seeing in the gameplay, I'm just dominating people with this gun. I believe I went like 14-3 on this game, but nonetheless, I do enjoy this season, like I said, and the direction that DICE is taking right now with updating Battlefield 6 and trying to improve a lot of the things that they did wrong. I feel like it may be a bit too late in the life cycle of Battlefield 6. We're almost like a year out since the game's been out. The game came out in October of last year. We're sitting in pretty much August now, so them trying to fix up a lot of these issues, I feel like it's a bit too late. Can it be fixed? Can we go into a year 2 of Battlefield 6 with a lot of updates and a lot of, you know, things being changed? Yeah, we can definitely do that. And what I do think DICE can honestly do is give us that server browser they promised us. Give us a lot of the things that we should have got day one. I do believe that the netcode needs a lot of adjustment. There's been times, I'm not sure if it was in this gameplay or not, but there's been times where I've died around corners. There's times where I shot a guy a couple of times at close range, and it honestly feels like my bullets are just disappearing, which is just weird. So that is something that I feel DICE could fix up in the coming months and the coming updates. Giving us more maps that feel like that old school Battlefield can also work. And the last couple of seasons and the last couple of updates, they really hit the ball at the park, giving us Gomor Railway again. That was a great map. We're getting Wake Island, I believe, in August. So again, a couple maps that are fan favorites of mine also. And overall, the whole direction of where we're going now with Battlefield 6, it truly is great. But what I don't like is that for some reason DICE still hasn't managed a way to have the team balance be good. I've had multiple games where I've joined in and it feels like it's just one team that's like really high skill and the other team just completely getting dominated and wrecked. I don't know if that's something they can fix on their end, something they can somehow match and balance out with the skills. That's an issue I have with the game still, and something needs to get fixed. The driving of the boats in this game, even though I love naval warfare, I think that's one of the favorite aspects of Battlefield is just naval combat. I understand the direction DICE was going for in this game with having a bit of realism and, you know, gameplay mechanics, but where you get that blend, it's hard to balance that, and I feel like DICE in this game just doesn't know how to balance realism and just gameplay fun. I understand the mechanics that they introduce in this game of the wave physics and all that, and it's a cool mechanic, don't get me wrong. Like, it does add a skill gap with your driving the boats and learning how to maneuver around waves and utilize those waves to your advantage with explosions and things like that, the waves. But I think it's a mechanic that takes away from the fun of the game. At the end of the day, this is a game. It's not a simulator, so it should feel like a game, should play as a game. Could they introduce something else to make the skill gap of driving a boat high? They can. What the introduction will be, I don't know. But I don't enjoy the way the boats move currently. Again, I understand why they did it the way they did it, but I feel like, again, it takes away from the fun of the game. Another thing too that I do enjoy is just the way the map looks. It's a nice looking map in the sense of, like, you have a lot of different POIs, you have a lot of different, you know, areas where you can engage in this map. You have the hills where you can go and be a sniper from near this point that y'all seen in the gameplay, right? There's a hill to my left on this gameplay where if you take that hill, you can honestly snipe down to this objective, and you can snipe down to, I believe it's D on the map. So you can go on that objective, right, and just hold it down. A lot of people like to fight over D. D's like one of the main points in this map that people like to fight on. Escalation and Conquest, a lot of people like to fight over E because it gives the little bird, which is a nice thing I feel like DICE has done, utilizing those vehicles in certain maps to make those points of interest be something worth fighting over. And it does shift the dynamic of the map a bit. Like, if your team gets the little bird and you have a like really nice little bird pilot, you can do a lot of damage. Another thing too that you can do in this map is, if you have a jet pilot, he can really do damage in this map. So overall, like I said, like, this map blends the whole formula of Battlefield pretty well. And a lot of these new maps and a lot of these things that DICE is doing now, it's honestly amazing that they're finally listening to the community, it seems. Taking that feedback, implementing some of that feedback, and building upon it. One thing I did say at the beginning of the life cycle of this game was, the only thing DICE needs to do is take the formula from Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, implement that into this game, and build upon that formula. If DICE can just stay to what they're doing right now and continue to build upon it, I genuinely believe that this game could become what, like, a Battlefield 5, Battlefield 4 ended up being, right? To where, yeah, you had a lot of issues in the beginning and stuff, right? This is something DICE is notorious for at this point. So where you'll have a game in the beginning, you'll have this issue, you'll have this bugs, whatever, you know. And then as the months progress, they end up fixing a lot of those issues. So where we can go, only time will tell. Will a lot of those issues that I have with this game be fixed? Again, only time will tell. But overall, the main issues, like I said, that I have in this game is just team balancing, the net code, the design choices they made with having realism and having it be blended with gameplay. I do think there can be a balance in that, but like I stated earlier, where that balance comes is up to DICE to determine. Another thing too that I kind of don't like so far about this season is that for some reason it still feels like the armor in certain aspects feels a bit underpowered. Now I don't know if it's because I'm running on teams that don't have an engineer really, so I'm not really getting healed up. And not only that, but playing engineer on this season, and this being one of the seasons that I played the most so far, it feels like I'm melting armor like super easy, and I don't believe that should be a thing, right? I don't think that armor should be getting destroyed super easy. Like, there should be a balance with that, where it shouldn't take a whole squad of engineers to destroy something, but it should take at least more than one to destroy, like a tank or a boat or something, you know. And again, that's something that I don't know what DICE's idea is right now when it comes to squad gameplay, to where it honestly feels like more times than none I'm playing kind of like solo, and then my squad is just kind of like there to help me out once in a while, but it doesn't feel like I'm playing with a squad, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like I need my squad with me to go and take this objective. It doesn't feel like I can rely on my team to try and do all these things that in previous battlefields I feel like I needed my team for. So I'm interested to see what DICE takes again the game moving forward. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this season, where y'all think DICE is headed, what y'all like, don't like, and just overall get conversation going of where DICE can go moving forward. I appreciate you guys for sticking around, just hearing me ramble essentially on this video. Just wanted to get my thoughts off and just give my opinion about the season.